Lucas is going to be a fast-moving Dan K show this week. Here comes our three things. Lucas getting involved for an assist here. Thing number one, Ignotus Ragas with the gold medal. Iggy, a little pop on him with 1 goal, 2 assists, 3 points. Great performance by Iggy. Thing number two,
Tomas Skokin. He took home silver medal in the IAHF, and you can read his blog about that victory over on USPHL.com.
he's a Polak. He's from Poland. He's my boy. Us Polacks got to stick together. Poland with the silver. Thing number three, me and Lucas still haven't won anything. Nothing. Haven't won anything. Not even the wing eating contest that we joined together last week. It was a tag team wing eating contest, and I got a bone lodged in my esophagus.
Mm-hmm.
Lucas was not feeling bad for me. He was upset. He wanted to win. Lucas had put down 50. I had put down 49 and 1 oversized wing bone.
Well, you tried to just run yourself into the bar for a Heimlich maneuver, but you couldn't dislodge the wing. I certainly wasn't going to stop because now I had to eat for 2 people.
He did. And you know what? We're not eating for 2. We're eating for a whole league here. We're going to be eating up all the best in the USPHL right now. Predictions coming at you hot. That get left out, don't take it personally. Take it personally. You know, in a way where you can win with it. Not personally in a negative way. Personally in a way where you're going to go out and prove us wrong. Feel free to prove us wrong. But here we go, 16 new predictions as we did last week with the USP3 and the Elite. We're going to give who we think is going to finish at the top and a team that's not at the top right now who we think has an ability to contend come playoff time. Maybe a home series in the playoffs. Maybe a chance to get to the Beantown. Lucas, let's start. 16U North, who do you got?
Well, this is a tough one, Dan. And as you can see today, I brought my intelligence glasses. I tied my hair back because I'm ready to dive into some predictions. And I'm going to go here and say that the Rochester Monarchs in the 16U North are going to hold on to their lead. They're 14-3-1 right now. There's 72 goals for, 42 goals against. I think with an offense and a defensive showing like that so far, with the schedule they've got coming up, I think they'll be able to hold on to the lead.
You know, to the novice viewer, Lucas, you may say to yourself, oh, Lucas, just picking the front runner there. But he's really not, folks. This is a team that's played 18 games, 14-3-1, 29 points. Close on their heels, a team that's played only 13. That's the Boston Junior Bruins. They're 12-1-0. 24 points. This team has 5 games in hand on that top Rochester squad. That's the team I've gotten first. I think this team continues to win, continues to dominate. They'd have allowed only 16 goals in their first 13 games. This team's going to be tough to beat down the stretch. Lucas, talking about tough to beat down the stretch, who's a team that might surprise some people? Let's look into it. I think we both agree.
We do. You know, we always look at these things, and we don't always agree, but in this case we do. It's a name that's going to be familiar, I think, to a lot of longtime viewers of the show. We're picking the South Shore Kings as our contender for the end of the year, and I think the numbers pretty much speak for themselves.
They do, Lucas, and when you look at this roster, it's a roster where there's not one guy doing it. Top to bottom, you've got a lot of assist getters, you got a lot of goal scorers, you got guys on the D-line putting up goals when needed, you got a team that's involved in all facets of the game, a team that plays a little bit of defense. They can play physical. They can play open style. This is a team that's going to be tough to handle down the stretch.
Absolutely. You know, they've played 15 games so far. They've got 48 goals. They're scoring about 3 goals a game.
Yep.
You know, that's a pretty consistent offense. Sure, some of the games are going to be tough. They're going to be close games. And, you know, they've only got they've got plus 12 goals in their differential. They've given up 36. But in the games that they've played, Dan, that's a 3-2 win on average every time.
It is. And, you know, you got to score more goals than the other team does.
That's true.
Games. That's how you do it. And talking about scoring more goals, we move to the 16U South, where goals have been scored aplenty. And one of those teams, Lucas, at the top is, I think, the team that you're taking as your number one. Are you taking this team as your number one?
Well, I thought about it.
You thought about it.
And I'm not going to.
He's not going to. He's not.
You know, I love the team that's at the top, the Jersey Hitmen. But I got to go Pal. Got to go Pal on this one. You know, as much as I love the Hitmen, and we always say not to bet against the Hitmen, I love what Pal is doing down there in the South. They're 11-3-0 right now, which means that they're not letting games go to overtime. They're cleaning up into overtime, which is something that you always like to see. That's good hockey being played. I'm a huge fan of Pal right now. I think they're going to go all the way.
So you think to yourself, Jersey Hitmen are at top of this division, right? They're at the top. You got to pick them. One of the two got to pick them. Not right now, not necessarily. I'm going Skipjack's Hockey Club here. 10-3-1. They've got 2 games in hand. Yet again, picking a team with games in hand. It seems good to have games in hand, Lucas, but you still got to win those games for them to count for you. Skipjack's team that's down 3 points. They're going to have to get 2 wins out of those 2 games in hand. They got to win both of them. They got to be perfect in those 2 extra games. I think they can do it. I think this is a team that winds up winning the 16U overall. I think this is the champion of the 16U, and that's why I go with the Skipjacks Hockey Club.
And we always talk about Southern style hockey, and I think the way that the South plays hockey makes for a more fluid division.
Yep.
It allows for you've got the top 3 teams separated by only 3 points. It allows for a lot of lead changes. So I'm really excited to see what this league is going to do down the stretch.
I'm excited, and a team that I'm excited to watch down the stretch, other than the Jersey Hitmen, we know they're going to be involved. I like the Connecticut Junior Rangers, Lucas, coming out of here as that 4th place squad right now, 7-8-1, losing record right now. I think this is a team that turns it around in the second half. They've played enough defense to keep themselves in games. I think the defense steps it up a bit. I think this long break is going to help them out. A little bit winded towards the end there. I think this is a team that turns it around, plays some great defense down the stretch, and I always like to pick the CJR squads. I love the CJR organization.
Well, and you know what? I think for the same reasons you just mentioned about Connecticut, I'm going to go with the New Jersey Rockets. They're 6-7-1 right now, but their goals for, goals against ratio, it's 46-45, so they're a +1 right now. But they've had some close games this year, games where they have just lost by 1 goal in the waning seconds of the game or in the 3rd period. So I think that, again, with a break, with a refocusing, we've talked about what the break can do for you. I know Alex from Jonesy's College Corner talked about what a break can do for you in terms of refocusing. I think you get back to basics, you focus on your fundamentals. The New Jersey Rockets are going to start climbing.
They're going to start climbing, and we're going to go to an interview. We're going to break this one up with an interview, and we will be right back after that with the 18U predictions. Dan K from the Dan K Show, and we are here with the Atlanta Junior Knights, the man, the myth, the legend, the flow. Introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Adam Holsey.
Adam Molsey. Adam, a right winger here, a big win over the Eugene Generals from the Pacific as a goal scored behind us by another South team. Talk to us about the win today. How'd it feel to get that 3-1 W?
We're coming off losing 7 straight games, so for us to get that win, it just felt really good, and I thought we played really good as a team, and everything we did it with passion and heart.
Passion and heart hockey. Heart hockey both start with an H. That's the only thing similar about the two, really, but you got to play with heart to play good hockey. Now, let's talk about your flow. Let me ask you that question. I heard when I said, who do I get to interview? Your buddies looked at me, they said, this man right here has got the flow. How long did it take you to get that flow?
I haven't cut it in like a year and a half, maybe. Yeah.
You got to cut it to let it grow, though.
Yes.
Yes, you got to cut it to let it grow. He agrees. Let me ask you this question. You guys are playing down in Atlanta. You got to be pretty pumped, right, to leave the heat and the warmth and the comforts of Atlanta to come up to frigid, cold New England.
Well, I'm actually from California, so this is way colder than what I've ever been used to. So.
You're from Cali?
Yeah.
My sister's out in Cali, and she's sort of talking like this right now. It's like we're here at little Cali. Let's talk real quick. One Cali question. What's your favorite thing about California?
The beaches and the girls.
Say it like this, the bitches and the girls.
The beaches and the girls.
This has been Dan K with a California update with the Atlanta Junior Knights. Big W today and big things to come for the Atlanta Junior Knights. Lucas, we continue our predictions here with the 18U North and South. We're going to start with the North. I am going to go first. And you want to know why I'm going to go first?
Why?
Because I'm a dynamo, Lucas, and I'm picking the CP Dynamo. 13-1. This team has been dominant. They have been dynamos in this league. They have been dynamic on the ice defensively, and they have been taking on all comers, and they have been beating them. 13-1-1, 27 points, 49 goals for, 17 goals against. This is a team that is to be reckoned with.
And I agree with you, Dan, but I think I got to go Junior Bruins for my #1 team in the North. Only 3 points down from the Dynamo, but I think the numbers, the amount of offense that they've been putting up is something that's going to eventually favor them down the stretch. They've got 74 goals for, 28 goals against, and I think with that amount of offensive production, you can't necessarily go wrong picking them as your team. However,
Lucas,
Dan and I did some digging, and we have found out that the Dynamo are playing the Junior Bruins towards the end of the
it's
season.
going to be February 4th and 5th, Lucas. Those are going to be the 2 days, and this is going to be a series that is going to be incredible to watch. If you can't get there and watch it, that's something you tune into fasthockey.com, you tune into Hockey TV, and you watch that game. That is a game that you take 2 hours out of your schedule and you watch these two squads of young juggernauts battle it out. That is going to be a battle royale between the CP Dynamo and the Boston Junior Bruins, and since I'm always right, we know that it's going to be a sure thing. And why do I say a sure thing, Lucas?
Is it because you looked up the players in the CP Dynamo?
It's because I looked up my man Sam Shorey, who I've been watching all year long, and he's got 9 goals, 12 assists. He is leading this team in both categories, goals and assists. Sam Shorey is a Shorey thing to be taking it to the next level, taking it through the leagues here. He is going to dominate the rest of the way he's dominated in this first half of the season. I can't wait to watch this Dynamo Bruins matchup, Lucas. Scale of 1 to 10, what do you give that game matchup?
If both teams stay close in the standings, I give that game at least a 9 out of 10. You know, I don't have any puns for the Bruins because that's not how my brain works. That's why I keep him around. But I can't wait to see a high-powered offense go up against a shutdown defense. I mean, across that kind of a matchup goes across sport lines. That's the kind of thing where in baseball you get a shutdown flame-throwing pitcher against a quick-hitting outfielder, or you get a team that's known for just training three-pointers and a team that plays aggressive defense in basketball. This is the kind of stuff that really makes a regular game become a great game.
Lucas, 1 out of 10, I give this game an A+. I can't wait to watch it. Let's move on. Our team in the 18U North, Lucas, on the cusp right now, who we think is going to make a move. I know yours.
Mm-hmm.
I know yours. I have it in here internally. We talked about it.
Right, and therefore I have yours as well.
All right, I'm going to say mine, though. And
Okay.
you say yours.
Yeah.
That's how we'll do this?
Yeah.
We've decided upon it. I will say mine. Lucas will say his. Mine first, Springfield Picks. I know what you're thinking. Picks are sitting in 5th, Dan. They're sitting in 5th, 7-8-1. This is a team that's given up more than they've scored. Lucas, this is a team 2 games in hand on a team in front of them. A team you may be picking. I'll let you talk about that team. But it's a Springfield Picks organization that's due for a winner, and I think this may be the year. I think this could be the winner. I want to see this Picks team make it to the playoffs and see just what they can do.
Well, I won't fault you for picking a team that has game in hand. That's been your theme so far
It's
tonight.
been my theme.
But I gotta go IHC. You know, the team is 8-8-1, so their record is essentially even. They're 3 points up on the Picks right now. They've got one more goal for than they do against, 46-45. And the reason I go IHC is because, you know, we've talked to Sean Tremblay. We've seen this IHC organization from top to bottom. We've watched their games when we go to these showcases. I mean, we watch a lot of games, but somehow we always find ourselves in an IHC game. And that organization from top to bottom is just, I think I've used the word efficient in its preparation.
Yeah,
and so I think
agree with
that
that.
preparation is going to keep them in the hunt. It's going to move them up a spot or two. And so I think that I'm going to go with IHC for my pick here.
Going with IHC there. We move on. You talk about in the hunt. I'm going to talk about a team and an organization run by Jim Hunt here. You want to talk about who the number 1 is in the South. I love the Skipjacks, Lucas. I love the Skipjacks. I'm a huge Skipjacks fan. You know that about me. I've watched them play a ton. Love to watch that organization battle it out in the ice. But you look at how close the top 3 teams are in this 18U South. You got 21, 21, 24. Go all the way down to 4th. You got the NJ Rockets with 19. Jersey Hitmen 10-4-1, sitting in 2nd place. I think this is a team. They may not finish the regular season in 1st, but I think this is a team that could take this side of the 18U.
And the 18U South, I'm going Skipjacks Hockey Club. You know, I was torn in the pre-show meeting between PAL and Skipjacks. You know, because I think they both have an opportunity here to take first place. But I go with Skipjacks. You know, I always like to see defense. I always like to see, you know, the high-powered offense. And I think Skipjacks has both. I think they've got a shutdown defense. I think they've got a great offense. But I will say this, Dan. I love to be proven wrong. The Florida Junior Blades proved me wrong when I called them out, and I said, I think you're going to lose the game.
Yeah.
And they said, no way, we're not losing the game, and they called me out on it.
Yeah.
So as much as I'm saying the skipjacks are going to take first, I would love nothing more than for Pal to prove me wrong and call me out on it the next time I run into them at a showcase.
I'll tell you what, Lucas, you talk about the pre-show meetings. I wish the people at home could see it. It's really Lucas and I at a very, very long executive table shouting from one end to the other while there's a bunch of like those castaway Wilson soccer balls with faces drawn on them, and they're all wearing fake suits and ties. It really looks like a great board meeting, but it's a real ball. It's a real ball.
Yeah, I think Dan's your punts tonight are on point. That's
Be careful,
actually
I might pop the ball. On point. Get it?
Yeah, we get it. You're gonna make it.
That hurt.
He's still a little sore from his flight back from St. Louis, so you're gonna have to excuse his ramblings. Let me get him back on track real quick. We're talking about the surprise picks now.
Surprise picks. Yeah. We're talking about the surprise picks. I think it's a surprise pick because, again, we have meetings before the show. Lucas and I don't think we're going to surprise each other with this one. We both like the NJ Rockets. This is a team with 19 points. This is a team 62 goals for, 52 against. If the defense shows up, they can win. How does the defense show up, Lucas, for a hockey team? How do you become more defensive? Any ideas?
Well, the first step is to literally show up. Second step, put your pads on, obviously.
Put your pads on.
And third step's preparation. Defense is sometimes about all five players working together to get the puck out of your zone. Sometimes it's about trying to neutralize an odd man advantage that the other team has because of a 5-on-4 or 5-on-3 power play opportunity. And sometimes it's about the last two guys blocking your goalie, or the worst case scenario, just the goalie. And I think with preparation and with a good game plan and with a lot of defensive work and coordination, I feel like this defense can show up if they all work together to support each other on the back end of the ice.
I'll give you one thing here. At this level, a lot of times, those passing lanes are left wide open. It's hard to close off those passing lanes. You watch the NHL level, it's tough to close off those passing lanes. I was just watching the Blackhawks and St. Louis Blues in person, and it's tough to close off those passing lanes. You watch the Blues try to do it to the Blackhawks. They could not. You watch it the other way around. Neither team could really close up those lanes. There's a lot of clear passing lanes. You can close that up. You can tighten up the game. You tighten up in front of your net. I think the Rockets, you're going to see a much tighter-knit group, a lot more block shots. Get those bodies in front. For those younger guys, it's tough to do. It's tough to get used to it. It's tough to teach yourself, I want to get in front of the puck, but you got to wear those badges of honor sometime. Block the puck when you can. Help out your goalie where you can. Make him stop as few as you can. NJ Rockets can take this division. I think they just might. Lucas and I both picking them as our surprise. We got more surprises coming for you after this interview. Premier predictions closing this show out next. All right, I got the whole team out here from the Florida Junior Blades. They have not lost yet this year. Win, 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 no matter what. That's what the Junior Blades do. I'm here with a man next to me who we shared our love of poutine last year in an interview, but now I got someone even better on set with me. Slovakian superstar, my man, Jonas. Jonas?
Yes.
Yes, the answer is yes. Now, they say that they're going to all work as kind of a translator here. In the USPHL, we have a lot of different cultures, people from all over the country, all over the world, coming to play hockey in America. What's Florida like? How's the state of Florida compared to Slovakia?
Oh, it's much warmer, so it's better. It's like holiday all year.
I like it. See, what's the average temperature in Slovakia?
I don't know. I know just in Celsius.
Celsius? You give it to me in Celsius.
Okay, it's 20, 22, 25.
I'm outside my depth. I don't know Celsius. I lied to you at home. We're going to say, it's kind of cold, kind of in the middle. It's in between. It's like New Jersey. You know what I mean? New Jersey. So how good has it been playing with these guys? These guys make you feel at home? Do you feel at home playing here?
Yeah. Every guy is really good. I feeling like it's really like home. I have here also like Switzerland friend. So he's like kind of the same mentality like me. Then we have also the Czech guy. Then we have also maple leaf syrup from Canada.
Mr. Maple Syrup. He knows a little bit about every culture. Now look at this. This guy understands the game. Now, how have you guys gotten to where you are today? Where is all the success come from? How have you won so much?
Oh yeah, so I think we're training so hard. We're playing like team, and also it's like we play like team. That's I think is much important from everything.
Family?
Family.
Family. I can sense it. I get it from you guys. I see it. These guys are next level. These guys are what the USPHL is all about, and I want to keep seeing wins, and I want to see a title down in Florida this year because I'd love to go down and celebrate with you guys. I'd love to videotape with you guys. Any excuse to go to Florida, please give me one. Please win. Keep it up, gentlemen.
Sounds good.
Lucas, here we finally are. After prediction, we move to the premier, the ultimate, the top level of the USPHL, the Premier League. And these premier predictions are brought to you by Dan and Lucas. Always here when you need us most. And when you need your USPHL hockey fix, and my hockey fix, my team, my number one team, I'm going Jersey Hitmen, because when it ain't broke, you don't fix it, Lucas. The Jersey Hitmen, they win each and every year, and each and every year we try to sit here and we try to find a reason why this team isn't good. And all year last year I kept telling you, you can't try to find that break in the chain, right? If the chain's not broken, sometimes you're trying to micromanage, you're trying to find something wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it. This team has worked out, this team has worked, and this team wins. 142 goals for, 69 goals allowed. They've dominated on both sides of the ice. They're out of control this year. This is the team. Toby Harris has it going again. I think he gets them there. I think he gets another premier title.
You know, Dan, normally I would disagree with you, and so I'm going to disagree with you this time as well. I have to go IHC here. I think they're going to hold on. I think you're absolutely right about the Hitmen. They are out of control. They have a great offense, a stellar defense. Jim Hunt, Toby Harris, I've met them. I've seen the passion and the fire that they've got for winning. But I'm looking at what I've seen so far, and I got to go IHC. They're dominant offense, dominant defense. Organizationally, they're phenomenal. They've got it worked out from every single level. I've watched them play. They are the model of efficiency. And I think that with a game in hand and 2 points up, I think they're going to hold on.
With the game in hand, Lucas uses my line from this show, the game in hand episode, the game where you got games in hand. Lucas, Sean Tremblay, Toby Harris, a lot of respect between the two, but also a lot of angst, a lot of will, a lot of will to win. These are two guys that they don't want to deal with one another. They want to beat one another. They want to go out there when they play, when their teams face off, when they clash. These are two guys that take pride in the organizations they've helped put together, that they've led, that they've spearheaded. They want to win, and they want to win big, and they want to go out there and they want to take a title. And every year they're in the running. Tremblay goes out and turns over an entire roster. He's in the running. Harris, year after year, title after title. These guys don't stop. They don't stop winning. Something's got to give, and someone's got to win it. Lucas, let's look the rest of the way here. Let's look at a surprise team that might be able to take it to one of the juggernauts at the top, one of the two juggernauts at the top of this league each and every year. Who do you got first, Lucas?
Well, I've said their name before. I'll say them again. Everyone knows I'm a huge SSK, the South Shore Kings fan.
Yep.
I would say that I don't know what it is about them, but I do know what it is about them. They are persistent,
Yep.
and they're consistent.
Yep.
They want to win, and the stats, again, the stats usually never lie. And in this case, South Shore Kings, 113 goals for, 94 goals against. They're 17, 11, and 3. Whenever you see overtime losses, they've lost some tough games, and the Kings have lost some tough games this year. I think that's the only reason why they're in 5th right now, because from what I've seen of their offense and defense, they are a top-level team. I think they've just had some close calls this year, but South Shore Kings last year did a great job making a run at the end of the season. I think they're going to do the same thing this season, and once again, I've got SSK making a run for it.
You want to talk about overtime losses, Lucas? You want to talk about a team that's got a few of them? 5 overtime losses for the Syracuse Stars. 17-9. Let's turn those 5 OT losses into 2 wins. That's 19 wins. 3 wins, 20. That would put them even with the Boston Junior Bruins. That's a team that at the beginning of the year, I picked to win the title. A team I still think has a shot at it. But that means the Syracuse Stars are just a tilt of the ice, a drop of the puck, a freeze of a play away from a couple more wins from being a Bruins-esque squad, from being a top 3 team, the Syracuse Stars, led by the Salat brothers. And if you know me, you know I like a lot of Salat scoring. They like to score. They like to put the puck in the back of the net, and they like to help each other out there on the ice. This is a comfortable group together. Ethan and Jeremy Salat, 10 goals for Ethan, 6 for Jeremy. Between the two of them, 34 total assists. These guys get involved in the scoring, and the man who's really feeling the love is Tyler Seltenreich. And Seltenreich has 16 goals, 16 assists, 32 points. This is a deep roster, Lucas. We go down to Zachary Wanger. He was with the Okanagan Eagles last year, and now playing in this new squad, 8 goals, 10 assists, battling it. Mark Dermanulian, another guy. I watched him last year play the Flyers. I was doing play-by-play on the game, and Dermanulian, ooh, this guy put a game together. He doesn't just have a fun name to say. He's got a fun game to watch. This roster, top to bottom, is a lot better than you think. I think there's a lot of names here that put together and have played on some teams in this league, and they've made them winners. You know, they've been the cogs in the wheel that made the teams win, and now they've all found a home in the Great White North of Syracuse, New York. And I think the Stars may just shine brightest come playoff time. That is my hot take. I think the Stars, we talked about kind of the dark horses with these picks, right? Mm-hmm. We talked about teams that could compete down the stretch. I'm not talking about competing, Lucas. I'm not talking competing anymore. I'm talking the Salat brothers taking home a title. I'm talking a Syracuse Stars championship. I'm talking the upset of all upsets with the IHC and Jersey Hitmen and the Bruins having great years. The 3 top juggernauts every year. I'm talking the Stars title. I'm talking title. I'm talking championships. We ain't talking practice, Lucas. We're talking titles. Syracuse Stars, my squad to watch.
Well, you know, you've got a lot of talent on this team.
It's a lot of it.
You have Mark Dermanulian, but you know what you don't have? You don't have Michael Grande.
He comes up big.
He does come up big, as his last name would lead you to believe. He's been featured on the top 5 plays. How many times now, Dan?
Twice. That's
the kind of X factor that you need when you're going down the stretch. You know, you've got Kevin Hawk with 27 points, Michael Grande with 26 points, John Laurito with 24, and the list just goes on and on.
So far, we've reached a halfway point in our season. And now we move to the empty net, our final portion of the show. We're going to close it out this week by letting the people know what's to come. What's happening next weekend, Lucas? This weekend coming up.
We're going to the showcase.
Going to the
winter showcase at the New England Sports Center, which is coming up this weekend. Which, for those of you who don't necessarily watch the show on the same day we film the show, is going to be February 6th, 7th, and 8th. We don't want you watching the show in 3 weeks thinking that the next weekend is, January 6th, 7th, and 8th. I'm already getting ahead of myself.
We're excited about February, too.
We've been hyping up so many events that I'm literally getting ahead of myself here. But we are going to be there January 6th, or we're going to be there the 7th through the 8th. The teams are going to be there the 6th through the 8th. We are excited to see you guys. We're going to be there Saturday and Sunday. We're going to be trying to check out as many teams as possible to try to see if our predictions, the way we think about these things, is actually correct.
Yep.
And we want to interview you. If you are standing around and you see a tall guy and an average height guy walking towards you fairly aggressively with a camera, don't be afraid. It's just the 2 of us.
All right, make sure it's us, okay? Not just any guys running at you with a camera. 2 guys should not just be aggressively running at you with cameras. If it's us, though, you should do an interview. Hop on camera. We want to interview you, and if we didn't see you, walk by us and say, hey, you two, I want an interview. That's how you say it. You say, hey, I got a deal for you. Let's do an interview. We'll talk to each other. We'll do this thing.
We've had players come up to us and ask us to interview them. When I was at the Hitman,
right.
I had players come up to me and ask me if they could interview me. So we love interacting with parents, coaches, and players. We love talking to you guys. If you see us standing around not doing anything, come up and say hello. We'd love to talk some USPHL with you. The more people that we see, I think, the better our experience is, and we hope that we can do the same for you. So follow us before this weekend. Dan _Kamchek, Lucas L Jones 1138. They'll be down here as they always are. Tweet at us. Let us know what you're thinking. Tell us where you are so we can come interview you. We'll find you. Tweet us. Tell us what rink you are. We'll come find you. We're just really excited for the weekend.
We're excited for the weekend. Lucas is going to have an interview with the commish coming up. Major discussions. with Lucas Jones. It's going to be a new series hosted by my man Lucas Jones. If you want the inside scoop on anything USPHL, you're going to have to go to this man. You're going to have to watch his interview show. It's going to be some good stuff. It's going to be some great stuff. It's going to be huge. It's going to be huge. And we got a lot of huge things coming down the pike. We can't wait to see you at the Winter Showcase this weekend. Lucas, parting words for the people. Remember, everybody. I tried to do my British accent. I was excited about Ben Churchfield. He has a British accent. I have a British accent. I don't have a British accent anymore. I'm going to go back to this one, and I'm going to say, hey, folks, when Dan K's on the mic, it's always hockey night. And we hope the USPHL fans like to listen to me every week stumble with my own catchphrase.